Have you realized that your career is actually a 40-year voyage? And if you're like me, well, you're probably only halfway through it. How then can you make the rest of your journey even more meaningful? We all change over time. What was important to us 10 years ago, like maybe money, job titles, may not be our top priority today. In fact, would what we enjoy today be of any value to us 10 years from now? So, are we chasing our current dreams at the expense of future goals? We need to review our past, reflect upon our present, and then create the future we want. We need to examine how things like financial security, career satisfaction, personal relationships factor into our life and how it should drive our career strategy.
So, instead of blindly putting in the hours of hard work every day, come, find out how you can achieve lasting career success and learn how to live a meaningful life through your career. Click the link to find out now.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Singapore, and good morning, everyone on LinkedIn, and especially everyone else who is not in our time zone today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in so faithfully every Friday morning. Once again, my name is Adrian Chu, and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International. And together with me is Yen, our co-founder. Good morning, Yen. How are you today?
Good morning. It's a bright and shiny day. It is after
It
days
is,
and days
isn't
of
it?
rain. Did you hear the thunder this morning? I was worried it was going to be another rainy day.
Yeah, there was a thunderstorm coming today, I think. But it's nice, cool weather. It's a lot nicer than if it was extremely hot. So I like it. I just hope it doesn't rain during the evenings because I normally cycle in the evenings. So I never cycle when the roads are wet. Safety first.
Okay, whatever. I like it when it's sunny.
I only like it when it rains. But the beautiful thing about being in Singapore now is that we're moving into a colder and wetter season. So it's a good change in climate because we've been having really hot spells. And one thing that's also interesting today we're going to talk about is change in jobs, change in career situations. A lot of
A change in
people,
inflation.
yeah, that too. Actually, a lot of clients we've spoken to recently, there's a change and a shift in the market, in the sentiment. A lot of our clients and a lot of people that we speak to are talking about being at their career crossroads, and it's something that bears very heavily on my, especially for myself, because that was my pet area of my pet topic for the longest time.
Yeah, so it's been one of the many frequent issues that we hear from our clients quite often. A lot of them are wondering what's next. A lot of them are thinking, is this all there is? Or they can't wait for Friday. They absolutely detest Mondays. When these are symptoms we hear, it's really easy to diagnose. So what's really going on? Yeah.
And once if you are at a career crossroad today, this episode is dedicated to you because we're going to spend a bit of time talking about career crossroads, career crossroading strategies. And it's interesting because I kind of wrote the book on career crossroads back in 2015, Flex. So the first book that we've written, and it's out of print already because it's really popular. Besides that, we also have been quite busy with wrong click. Okay, we've also been busy with the other book that we've had, which is basically the Great Career Paradox, and it's out in the major bookshops now. I understand it's out at Kinokuniya, and very soon it'll be over at Popular and all other major bookshops as well. In fact, there are only 2 major bookshops in Singapore, so that's about it. You can get your copy on Amazon, I believe.
Yes, you can get a copy on Amazon. But if you do buy it on Amazon, I think you've got to wait a little bit longer to read it because it's going to take a while to get delivered. So If you
Yeah,
are going anywhere over the weekend, pop in at one of the bookshops and look for it.
Yeah, pick up a copy. We're gonna pop over to Kinokuniya later as well to have a look at our books on the shelf. If no one's looking, we might just autograph a few copies. If no one's looking, and if you don't get thrown out of the shop for
No, that's
defacing their
vandalism.
properties, it's not vandalism if you sign your own book. But anyway, I digress. So, well,
Yeah.
there's something interesting coming up. So once again, for those of you who just joined us, my name is Adrian Chu, and I'm the CEO founder of Career Agility. Yen is our co-founder and executive director, and she's also our super coach.
Morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. It is the end of another week. October is steadily moving along, and before long, it'll be Christmas. Haha.
Yeah, we're only about 70 days away from Christmas, so take note. I'm keeping track. But for those of you who may not be familiar with Career Agility International, we are a team of very experienced career coaches and career strategists who come together to help you, the individual, who might be at their career crossroads or might want to accelerate their careers or maybe even look for a job to get the career clarity needed in order to make the best career decisions to move forward in the middle of a market that's really noisy, in the middle of a period of your life which may be very emotional. We help you to get career clarity as to where to move towards, and the ultimate end game is for you to achieve career success and career longevity.
Yep, absolutely. So that's our purpose in our careers as well. So for Adrian, and I'm sure definitely for myself, we're here to support you in helping you to at least achieve some modicum of success in your career, or at least manage it a little bit better so that you got more time for the more important things in life. The career is just one of the big things, one of the many things that you have to juggle. We're here to support you through that. And one of the key career issues that we constantly get asked about is what do I do? What do I do next? Where do I go from here? And I think maybe it's fear of the unknown. So there is a lot going on. So Adrian, what is a career crossroad? Shall we define it?
A career crossroad is a point in your career when you're just wondering what's next. And from the book which I wrote in 2015, it's there are times in your life, or at least 2 times in your life, where you feel the career crossroading happening very acutely. The first one is normally after you worked in your first job for about maybe 5-6 years, when you're somewhere in your late 20s, early 30s. Then you're wondering, is this the industry I want to be in? Should I stay or should I leave? What should I do? And that's fine, because when you're at that stage in your life, it's easy for you to move on and pivot into something different. But the second most pressing career crossroad period we have noticed is from the 38 to 44 time zone, when you spend about 10 to 15 years in your industry, in the working world. And then you start feeling that, what do I want to do? It's very painful. Do I quit my job? Do I switch over to another company? Do I switch over to another industry? Should I just drop everything and start up a bakery or chinchilla farm?
We hear that all the time. Lots and lots of clients have this itch, if you will, and just an anticipation, or they just like they really, really want to start something on their own, something that they can own, something they can call their own, or like a bakery. It's something that fulfills, I guess, their souls. It is. We hear it all the time, isn't it? So,
and you know what's the theme song? You know the theme song for them at this point in life? It's Queen's "I Want to Break Free." So it's that feeling of frustration. It's like, and if you're feeling that right now, it's okay. It's very normal. Seriously, it's very normal. A lot of our clients come in with that feeling before they get the career clarity they need.
So the when you highlighted earlier, two big moments, or when do you actually know that you're at a crossroad?
Basically, when you hit a brick wall and you feel very frustrated, there are some of the signs and symptoms which we do note actually with a lot of our clients. Frustration, basically frustration, job frustration, tiredness. Is there something else better? Sometimes you get the Monday morning blues, and sometimes you get the Sunday night blues. Sometimes you get the Sunday morning blues, or it's just sometimes when you have to drag yourself to work. That's quite depressing, isn't it?
It is, or that there's that drought, dreariness, that mud under your shoe, it's sticky, and you're going like, oh, I have to go to work. And it's harder when it rains. So by the way, I love working from home. So
Yeah, don't we all now? I was fighting the traffic on the bus today, on the train, bus and the train, fighting people. It's just terrible. So yeah, working
yeah,
from home is nice.
yeah. So why should we worry about career crossroads? Is it something that we should be concerned about?
Uh, Basically, one of the reasons why we are concerned about individuals like yourself who are at a career crossroad right now is because it is a very critical junction where you're at, and it can be quite frustrating. Frustrating to the point where you might even do something drastic, okay, something really dramatic. I know of this individual who quit his job with no whatever experience whatsoever to set up a bakery. And it was because somebody told her that, hey, your cookies are nice. And she said, that's fantastic. So she set up the bakery and everything. But after having to run a bakery, it's not fun. And she lost a lot of money and she went back to her old job again.
Okay.
So that's why it is a critical junction. Sometimes it involves a lot of high risk. Have you had any interesting experiences like that with your own clients?
Yeah, our clients, I've met quite a few. If they come in early enough, we get a chance to tell them, help them think it out, help them do a proper business plan, to find out whether or not it is a viable, sustainable business, something with strong commercial foundations, or is it just a wild hair? But I have met many clients who have no choice, for instance. Anyway, if they do make a decision that is emotional, sometimes it can be very, very risky. Not just from the money point of view, but the mental health, the physical. There's a lot. So yes, quite risky.
Sometimes these mistakes can be quite expensive. And one of the mistakes we see is sometimes they feel that I want to take an MBA. And
That's okay.
it depends. It's very contextual. But they take an MBA, which is from an online course or something else, and it doesn't or in a program that doesn't really add value to themselves. And so they blow a whole lot of money. They take a year and a half, and they come back expecting a huge jump in the salary, but they don't get a jump in the salary. So and then they get frustrated. So lots of things that could go wrong. But I've also seen things that people who have made that mid-career switch and have gone right as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, and I think sometimes your career crossroad is an opportunity that necessitates you to get out of your comfort zone to try something new and better, isn't it?
That's a good point. It's really a sign, isn't it, that that there's room for growth, or there's something else that you're not quite getting that fulfillment from, or there's no satisfaction anymore. It's a sign. So if you're very self-aware, there's a sign to ask yourself, is it time for me to try something new? Maybe all I need is a new hobby. Me join Adrian in his cycling or something. But I don't agree that an MBA is a mistake. I think all education is great. I think it's always about the ROI. I think it's about cost versus time versus whether or not there's opportunity. I mean, seriously, it's opportunity cost, isn't it? If I'm studying, then do I have time for any other things? But yeah, anyway, career crossroads. I guess summarizing what you were just saying, really, it's all about trying not to make an emotional decision. These are big decisions that require a lot more digging and a lot more planning and a lot more focus.
I think so too. And the key point what I wanted to highlight here as well is when I put a note, that it's about making not having to make unnecessary mistakes. And what we mean about that is that some mistakes can be avoided, and that's why get help, talk to us, and that's why you're listening to our show right now. And and I really like the fact that there are solutions out there. Okay, so when you're at your career crossroads, that's the big question, right? And what can we do, right?
Yeah, what can you do? First of all, is to pause and breathe. just breathe. Sometimes when you're feeling very, very stressed, sometimes perhaps a good long walk will calm yourself, or you can go to the gym and start hitting the punching bag Pretend it's someone you don't like. That could help because it helps you to, let out some steam, clear your mind a little bit. But yes, definitely don't be overly hasty.
So too. And I've seen people who, at their career crossroads, they get so frustrated, they just quit a job with nothing in hand, without a backup plan. And it's sad in a way sometimes, because they do lose a bit of time if they've not been planning. But if they have valid and legitimate reasons for resigning, nothing in hand, then like what we've said in our previous episodes before, yeah, they should go and make a bold move. But always remember, if when you're at your career crossroad, okay, it is a very emotional moment, and therefore you don't want to make hasty mistakes based on emotions.
Yeah, stay calm, and go talk to your friends, and go find something that helps you to relax a little bit. Yesterday's your show yesterday on radio, Adrian, we were
Yeah.
talking about what were your coping mechanisms, and everyone had a different way of just managing their stress, isn't it?
It is, and you manage your stress, and the most important thing is like what you mentioned: stay calm and breathe, and be rational about your next move. And that's why one of the most important things we want to talk about is to get clarity. One of the biggest philosophies we have at Career Agility International is very basically that it's getting another job may not solve your problem if you do not know what's bugging you.
I've seen that so many times. Back in the day when I was recruiting and headhunting, we go through lots and lots of resumes, and you can tell when someone moves from one job to another job, and something's not right, because they don't stay, and then they move from that job to another job, and it's another short stint, and from that job, so from A to B to C to E, and before you know it, you become perceived as a job hopper, because
Yeah.
your resume story doesn't look very congruent. You haven't done enough, a long enough stint for anyone to feel confident that you're going to stay in this next job. So
True.
if you make a mistake in your career, right, sometimes there are speed bumps along the way.
As they
It
always
can
are.
be, yeah, I mean, it can be very, very tough for you to try to reinvent yourself, and renew that narrative, and figure out how to sell yourselves moving forward. That's a tricky one. So if there's a mistake, yeah, it can be quite challenging. So
One
yeah,
of
yeah,
the one of the
careful.
things we do notice with individuals who are at their career crossroads is that they have this idea or this misconception that if I land a better job, then everything's gonna go away. But the big question we always ask our clients is, what is a better job for you? What do you want to do more of the same? Do you want to join a competitor? Because if you're already the number one in the market, why would you want to join a competitor number two? And there's
Yeah,
so many things, and the problem is a lot of people cannot define a better job, right?
yeah. Sometimes we like to say, right, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. And then when they join and go like, hang on, I didn't sign up for this. Oh no, what have I done?
Oh, that's funny. And a lot of times, it's not too late to hop back in or to make course corrections. Okay, but the point is, uh, when I was in school, and short of letting everyone know how old I am, we used to have woodwork and metalwork.
Oh no.
Okay, those were the days. And one thing my teacher always told us is, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Because if you measure once, you're going to end up cutting, oh, it's too small, or it's too big. You're going to cut again, and you're going to keep cutting again. So a lot of
Yeah.
times, the old saying about measure twice, cut once works very, very well in terms of your career as well, your career strategy.
It reminds me of
Plan.
was it the one, that signboard that goes plan ahead, and then there's no space for the D, and then the D just goes off?
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead.
So a lot of times we need, and you also need to find out at your career crossroad, what do you really want to do? That's a tough one, isn't it?
It's easy to say what I don't want sometimes. It's very hard to actually define what I
Does that
want.
help?
But I've met quite a few people who actually say, who are afraid of trying to tell me what they want, what they really want, because they're afraid that it may not exist. and then their dreams get busted or something, or sometimes it is fear of the unknown. And sometimes it's really just because they don't know what they really want. They just want the world to offer it to them and have them choose it.
On a silver platter, right? So,
It's like, please come join us. I have this job for
and
you. And
sometimes
we're all gonna help you."
miraculously that happens, doesn't it? But
Yes,
not
if
all
you
the
manifest
time.
it,
Yeah,
we have the secrets.
But the thing is this: even if the opportunity happens because you want to manifest it and it happens, the question is, are you ready to seize on it? And that's why when you want to get clarity, it's very important. But how do you get clarity? One of the things is you have to map your options. If you're at a career crossroad now, it's one thing to say that, okay, I want to change jobs, I want to change industry or whatever I want to do. There is oftentimes lack of clarity with regards to your options. A lot of times you only see what's ahead of you, not what's on the periphery, and the opportunities might be in the periphery because you're so what they call target fixated. Okay, that you only see the things that are ahead of you.
I also feel that sometimes our clients sometimes don't know what are the possibilities, because they haven't been taught, well, for want of a better word, they've not been taught or have been shown how to research the market, how to target the market, and how to ideate, if anything. The world is a lot bigger. Everyone there's I hear this refrain all the time. Oh, there's no job, or I'm very niche, or there's no job for me because all the jobs all require this, which I don't have. And there's this tone of I don't know,
Defeatism.
defeat, but also
Defeatism.
victim, or maybe they don't know how to look for those opportunities.
But sometimes,
So when you
they've been bruised as well.
yeah
So
lah.
sometimes, the workplace. When you work 15 years in the workplace, sometimes the workplace isn't a kind place,
Mm,
and sometimes you just need to have a caring person, a caring listener, a coach, or even a group of alumni, a support system to come and support. That's why a lot of clients actually come to us because we listen and we propose really good options. And a lot of times you're hampered because you've not unfolded the whole map. You've only
yeah.
seen what is ahead of you, and we help you
And
to
you don't
see
know
what's
who to
outside.
speak to find out
Yeah,
what you don't know,
yeah.
right? Or you don't know what you don't know, but if someone tells you, then suddenly you know what you don't know, after which you can go fulfill that gap as well. So yeah.
Destiny. And a lot of times, as I said earlier, it's about target fixation. Okay, sometimes you just say, I have to do this because it's expected of me to get that promotion or to take that seat. Target fixation is something that's really dangerous. Okay, I've been watching air crash investigators lately a lot. Okay, and one of the reasons why some of the things crash, the pilots have this situation what they call get there itis, because they just
Oh,
want to get to the destination. Okay, even though there's a thunderstorm, even though there are warning lights, and they're tired, they just want to get there, and even though they shouldn't be landing the plane, they still land the plane, and that's when the accidents happen. So pilots are actually trained not to suffer from get there-itis because if they just get so target fixated. I must land at this place at this time. I cannot make any delays, and then that's when accidents happen. Consequences result.
yeah. So again, one of the key things to do is to make a plan, but at the same time, talk to someone who knows what's really going on in your industry, who can help you to fill in some knowledge gaps, help you to identify possibilities, and help you see, no matter how sucky your market might be. I'm a big
Always
believer
pockets,
because I've
right?
been doing this. I've been doing this a long time. No matter how sucky the market might be, there will always be hotspots. There will be opportunity, and no matter how good the market is, there will also be spots of retrenchments and spots of moments of unemployment. So I'm not a big fan of trends. I'm a big fan of making your own luck.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, as we were saying earlier, making your own luck involves broadening the map, broadening your options, seeing what else is out there, and then deciding, oh, A, B, and C. Okay, the things I want to follow, and maybe I want to consider F. And then so you broaden your options and then you narrow. So if you're at a career crossroad now, our suggestion is get as much data as you can. You broaden your options, find out more, talk to people, learn more, and talk to people in the industry or in that role that you're trying to target into. You'll be surprised to see that they might actually have a requirement for you in terms of your job skills and your expertise.
Yeah, and every time I hear someone say, I don't know anyone, I beg to differ. Can you go through your phone book and see how many contacts you have that you haven't spoken to for a long time? Someone somewhere is going to be able to help you.
Somewhere out there beneath the bright blue skies. Anyway,
Okay.
okay. Anyway, for those of you who just joined us, thanks for joining. Today we're talking about Career Crossroads and what you can do at your Career Crossroads. Once again, my name is Adrian. I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International. And Yen is our executive director and co-founder, and she's also our super coach. And what Career Agility does is we help individuals like yourself who need career clarity. And what we do is we help you to achieve exactly that clarity on where you should be going to, what you should be doing, and where you can achieve career happiness and career success on your own terms. And we've done it for the past 5 years. We are very excited to be carrying on this work, and we've done lots of good work, and we've been very excited by the progress we've had with our alumni. And we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of alumni who will be happy to stand up and say that, hey, Adrian, Yen, you guys have made a change in our life. It's good, doesn't it, Yen?
Yes, I also want to say that it's really interesting to see their journeys. So when things land, sometimes they land and then they're going well and they're going well, and then they reach a little speed bump, and then they come to us, and we can see their trajectory as well. Because again, reality check here, guys, it's not always going to be a smooth sail, right? It's going to be bumpy along the way. But the point is that we get to travel with them on that journey, and we get to provide that scaffolding and the support structure so that it's less bumpy than it needs to be. Yeah.
And the support from our other clients, the alumni, the community as well is really strong. So yeah, if you're at a career crossroads, you don't have to go at it alone. Okay, you can come to us. And one of the things that we actually do for you is reality check.
Yeah, we give you the hard truth.
Sometimes a bit too hard, but sometimes you need to hear that, right?
I don't know. It's I need to learn how to be more diplomatic and maybe less direct.
Oh, we all do lah. But let me give you an example. I know this guy very recently, one of our clients, and he was telling me basically he wanted to do his own business. And he wanted to quit his job because he thinks there could be a business in blah blah blah. And I asked him, really? Is there? Have you tried it out? Have you spoken to your target market about it? No, he hadn't. See, but he just thinks it's so cool to be an entrepreneur. I watched Shark Tank, and those entrepreneurs are really so cool. And I asked him, okay, so it is a fantasy job, okay, because it's something that you like to do, you want to do, but realistically, is it realistic? And sometimes you need that dose of reality check. Otherwise, you'll be talking about rainbows and unicorns, all the while.
I bake for fun. I also paint for fun. That's my artistic outlet. And yes, I have thought about running a bakery until you observe the business and you realize that it's very physically very taxing. They're fighting huge lumps of butter and dough.
I've not tried your cakes before, anyway. You say you're a baker. You've been saying you're a baker for the past 5 years. I've never tried.
Not happening anytime soon. It's too much work. I'm too old for that. But yeah, it's a lot of effort, right? And then you wake up at 4 a.m. to get your dough going, and then you put out all these trays and trays of stuff which you sell for small margins. After which you still have to go handle the accounts and unhappy clients, and if someone happens to get food poisoning from your cake, it's I don't know. It becomes very scary. So that was a little bit of a fantasy, and then I decided no, it's not going to make sense. Not at my mid-career stage, and definitely can't sell my paintings. So
I've always wanted to start
outlet.
I've always wanted to start up a bakery, but I didn't have the dough.
I think you would probably do some Peranakan thing or something, but then too much effort, right? You got to go and pound all your herbs.
Yeah, I know, and it's No, I don't think I make a good baker. It's
Yeah.
too much cleaning up. I hate the
I
cleaning
just
up.
wanted
And
to
I
say,
always,
right, that when we give our clients clarity, and I think our listeners need to hear this. When we give our clients clarity, it helps to helps them make decisions, but more importantly, it reduces that cognitive dissonance. And so, for example, right, if you make a decision to either stay in employment or within a certain industry, knowing that maybe that industry doesn't give you the maximum income that you could potentially make, and then you're there comparing with your neighbor, and neighbor's got a new car, it's got a brand new watch, and you're always going for holidays, then you feel that dissonance. But then with the clarity, it helps you to reframe the reasons you
prioritize.
make those decisions and why it fits your lifestyle and your larger goals in life. Okay, it helps a lot. So that reality check component gives you that measurement so that you don't get that fatigue and that, that, what's it called, that thing you get from social media when you're always comparing with people's highlights, and and you feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, right? So we give you that
Uh,
clarity so that we don't feel the need to compare,
I call it
and that
social envy.
really,
So yeah, I
I
know. I
don't know,
just
there's
coined it.
something for
I only coined it like about
psychological.
4 seconds ago. But I mean, if reality checks are useful also because we help to move things off the table so that you don't get distracted by it. But we're not against our clients and yourself having that fantasy job. Sometimes it's just a matter of not yet.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to be a tour guide because I thought it's fun to
yeah,
walk around, do stuff like that, tell stories. But not yet because I still have a lot to give. I still have so much career coaching to do. Maybe when I'm retired, I'll be a part-time
it's good
pumpkin farmer
exercise.
because I like gardening. Yeah, good exercise, right? Part-time tour guide. When I'm like about
You got to brush up on
55.
Singapore history.
Yeah, it's okay lah. It's more the storytelling. Man. I love storytelling. So once again, sometimes your fantasy job is there and it's just not yet. So you have to have that strategy on how to move ahead to make that fantasy job a reality. But sometimes it just takes time, and that's where we come in and we talk about that as well. And like
Yeah.
what Yan said, sometimes if you want to make a career switch, sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it sustainable? Is there longevity in that? So we really need to sit down and have a discussion.
Yep. So we are objective. We're not emotionally connected at that level. Because yes, you can talk to your spouses, but if you ask mom, dad, husband, wife, what should I do with my career? The response will be whatever makes you happy. They go like, but I don't know what makes me happy. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
we're very
And
objective. We're professional and objective about it.
yeah, and of course, if you are stuck in your career right now and you're just wondering what's next, and it doesn't really need to be one where I want to get a better job or I want to switch industries or whatever it is. It could be maybe you just want to get a promotion and you're feeling stuck because you've been doing the same old boring stuff for the past 5 years. Or maybe a new boss has come in and something has triggered a change in your career situation. Come talk to us, get professional help. It's one thing to ask your friends for advice, but it's another thing about whether or not your friends are going to give you A, real advice, or B, advice they think you want to hear, or C, the right advice.
Yeah. So we will be objective. We'll tell you the unvarnished truths, and we'll provide you with useful tools and ideas and strategies to hopefully help you through this bumpy part of your career crossroad.
Yeah, and the big question is, can you handle the truth? So
Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes one of the biggest. We just had a question come in, and the question is asking, what's the biggest mistake that happens at this point in time at your career crossroad? And one of the biggest mistakes that happen is kicking the can down the road. Think, oh no, I'll
Yeah.
just figure. I'm too busy right now. I'll figure out later.
Later,
See, when you're 44 and you're having a career crossroad and career crisis, and you kick the can down the road, it's gonna get worse when you're 50 because you would have
yeah.
lost 4 years of prep time.
Yeah, yeah. I've met quite a few individuals who reached a point when they were exited from their organizations, and then because they've been exited, they're thinking, "Gosh, I need to find something," um, and they are toying with the idea of starting a business or what was it? Yeah, they want to teach. Okay, quite a lot of them want to go into academia.
To mold young lives.
But no, academia is not as easy to get into as one might think.
Yeah.
It's not that straightforward, and it takes
It takes time to
a bit
incubate,
of
right?
time for you to curate the networks and experiences in order to get in. It's actually not that straightforward. So yeah, like you said, like you rightly pointed out, right? Sometimes if you delay too long, and then it gets a little bit harder because you've missed out on the incubation period, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone just commented, quite interestingly, that it's Adrian and Yen gave some hard truths when I first approached them, but I needed to hear it to navigate my career crossroads. It's true, and it's not out of malice that we do it sometimes. Okay, most of the time, in fact, it's never out of malice. It's out of care and
Never,
concern. You need to
never.
hear sometimes so that this is really
We have
not
no
you.
agenda.
You shouldn't do it. Yeah. So it's also because we're coming from a place where we care and we want the best for you. So unlike going to your bosses for career advice, okay,
Mm.
I always question the amount of the hidden agenda when your boss tells you, "Oh, don't worry, you're good for this job. You should stay here for the next 5 years."
Or I have planned this for you. You are always going to be much better here, and you're going to do so much better in this other area that I have designed for you.
Don't worry, I will protect
The
you,
agenda obviously is because it's useful to me for now. So you
Yeah.
are useful there until you're no longer useful.
and I will protect you. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. And
I'll take care of you
in
until
fact,
I can't, which is what happens.
In fact, there's a promotion coming up, and I'm considering you for it. No, can you please submit your CV for it?
What's
Then
wrong
you
with
go
that?
like, why do I need to submit a CV? I mean, you're my boss, you know me. Why do I have to submit a CV? Okay, because if there's a promotion coming up, why are you competing me against other people? So and you're telling me that it's a huge opportunity
Mm.
there. You should be nurturing me for the role and everything, right? So we always say, watch for the signs and be careful of whom you get career advice from, because sometimes it's just good to have a neutral third party giving career advice and in a friendly and safe environment. And
Yep,
if you have any
that's
career questions or anything pertaining to your career crossroads, now come talk to us. Ultimately, in what we'd like to share with you today is this: career crossroads are very common, but all the time. Many of us experience it. In fact, the people who experience it most acutely are those who have been very good in their careers. They've been performing very well to the point where they say that I've done everything. What do I do next? It's almost like Alexander the Great crying at age 23 when he said, "I conquered the known world. There's nothing else for me to do." And then he's
there's no
crying.
more to do.
Yeah, so that's where you really need some career clarity. And like what Yen said, it's not always about the job. Sometimes it's about the other elements of your life you need to refocus on.
Yeah. So I recognize that we sound like we're repeating ourselves and kind of naggy about how it's about making the plans. It's about being rational. It's about really unpacking all the layers and figuring out what is it that makes you happy, and then getting the tools to navigate the minefields of the corporate world. Because after you land the job, it doesn't mean that's the end of the journey, right? Because there's still the
So much more.
the
There's so
work.
much more to navigate and everything.
Yeah.
I know we're optimistic. The market is picking up. That's great. The opportunities out there. The market is growing. Yes, there are minefields out there. You need to know where to avoid it. What not to step on. But the flip side to it is, what could be worse? If you're in an economy that's shrinking, like we just came out of COVID, and that was one of the toughest periods of the economy we've ever faced. And we came out stronger, and so I'm always very positive and upbeat. The market is good, but you must be ready to seize the opportunities. One of the
Yeah.
best ways to seize the opportunities is to come on board what we call our career partner program. And our career partner program is one where we sit down together with you, and it's very relevant, especially if you're wondering what's next, if you're planning a career switch, or maybe you just want to get promoted, or you're just not happy with your job and you don't know why.
Yeah. The thing is this, there are so many reasons. The journey is very long, right? I mean, if you think about the whole process, getting your resume done is not the answer. Getting a nice LinkedIn done is also not enough. after which you need to know how to navigate. And when you land a job, you're thinking, oh, great, I've got a job. Things should be fine. No, it's not, because now you've got to manage stakeholders. You've got to manage perceptions. You've got to figure out, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What's going on? Why? What did it happen? Why was I blindsided? And then you get promoted, and then there's another minefield there, because after you've been promoted, you're even more
fun never
louder on the
ends.
floor. And after which you're thinking, hey, is that all there is? Because I'm so burnt out from all these nighttime conference calls at 3 a.m, because it's a different time zone or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot to navigate and manage in a career journey. So I know today we're just talking about the crossroad portion of it, but in the bigger scheme, it's a whole journey. It's a whole lifetime. It's a 40-year voyage, and you want to have
Yeah.
a good navigator partner with you, so that you can avoid the bumpy road and take the nice broad avenues with the nice
Scenic view.
right. And then you don't end up on a runway that's like ending. Your plane cannot take off
Ends
because
off in a
the
cliff.
runway is too short.
Ends off in a cliff. Drop off. Like the James Bond movie, right? The runway ends off in a cliff.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it is when you're on a career program with us, and many of our other clients will vouch for us, that it's nice to have an experience, not one experienced career strategist, but two experienced career strategists. You're on a journey, one-on-one coaching, and we develop our solutions for you very individually. So it's highly personalized for you. It's not cookie cutter solution. Okay, it's all basically that. And what we always believe is that you don't have to go at it alone. Okay, you really don't have to go at it alone. There are solutions out there. We have the experience, and we can help. So come talk to us. Drop us an email, info@careeragility.org. If you want a little bit more idea about what we do, once again, you can pick up the book, our Great Career Paradox, available at all good bookshops. Basically, are popular. Not that popular is a great good bookshop, but not out there yet, I believe. Maybe next weekend.
I see a comment. I see a comment from our colleagues. We can help. I just want to add a caveat. We can help, but you must also help yourselves.
We help you to help yourself. So that's our logo.
We want to help you, and then when I give you an idea and I tell you stuff, please don't not do anything. With the advice.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
I know good thing is most of our clients do that, and they benefited greatly from it. So, if you have a career question, always feel free to drop us an email, info@careeragility.org, or drop us a WhatsApp, 8838-0557. Always happy to have a conversation with you. Our teammates are on standby, and we're here for you. So reach out to us, and if you're at a career crossroad, in summary, there are solutions. Don't be hasty. Sit down with a rational mind, a calm heart, and decide what do you want to do next. You can navigate it yourself. Okay, just come to us. We're very happy to help.
I mean, ultimately, as long as you've got your health, there's always the opportunity to go and find something. You've got two arms and two legs, and you've got a good brain. You'll land. You'll get a job. You'll figure yourself out. I think.
And on that note, we want to wish you all the best for your career journey ahead. Okay. It's everyone. We all have our own journey that we need to walk. Okay?
Yeah.
Big question once again is you need to have a life partner following you. You have mentors coaching you. You have your support team, your support network supporting you. Why not invite a career expert into that circle as well and make things easier? So have a great weekend ahead, everybody, and we're looking forward to seeing you again next week. And if you have any other interesting topics you want us to talk about, just let us know. Have a good weekend ahead, everybody. Take care. Bye.